Hi, folks. Jason Steele, broker, your Saugeen Shores and area real estate representative. If you're here, you likely saw my post on social media. Not something I want to talk about, but you know what, folks? Let's be realistic. A lot is happening right now in the economy. Grocery prices, fuel prices, utility costs, childcare, everything has gone up and is putting so many families in financial strain. To top that up, we also have the highest amount of mortgage renewals we've seen. Over 60% of all mortgages between 2025, 26, and 27 are up for renewal. And why is that? Well, back in 2020, 2021, money was pretty much given away for free. 1.1, 1.5, 1.7%. Everybody jumped on it. Everybody had to have a house. And that's what happened. Nobody considered what happens if rates go up when it's time to renew. This year we have 1.1 million mortgages up for renewal, from 1.7 to maybe 3.7, 3.9, 4.2. I mean, that's a difference of maybe $300, $400, $500 a month on a $500,000 mortgage. That's a lot of money. But where it really gets you is the interest you're going to pay over 5 years. Unbelievable. So, getting back to power of sales. What is a power of sale? Well, in Ontario, I'm going to talk about Ontario, but it is pretty much Canada as well. Under the Mortgages Act, a bank or mortgage company, whoever the lender is, has the right to sell the home and recover their losses when you are in default. Now, default starts after the first missed payment. That is default, folks. Now, the right from the bank comes from the contract you signed. It's in the Mortgages Act, as well as the standard charge term registered on title. So day one of that payment missed, nothing really drastic happens other than you'll likely get a reminder call that your mortgage is late, typically similar to what you would if you're late on a credit card payment. Around 15 days, the calls start to escalate. Collection departments, arrears letters, you'll get NSF charges. Once you are 15 days in default, a notice of sale can be issued under the Mortgages Act, folks. The bank does not need to go to court for most cases, and this is where it starts to get serious, but it's not an eviction at this point. From the time of that letter, you have 35 days if it's a contractual power of sale, which 99% of power of sales are under the mortgage. During that 35 days, you can stop everything. You can stop this process by paying your payments, paying the interest, paying the legal fee, and the admin costs. And that is what we call redeeming the mortgage. If you catch up, the process stops. Can you sell the house yourself during this time? 100%. Absolutely, you can. You can list it. You can sell it privately. You can put something together to refinance. Maybe the bank, the lender, they're not in the process of wanting to sell homes, folks. So maybe they'll work out a deal. Take those high interest rate credit cards that you've ran up in the last few years that are causing this cash flow. Refinance, reinvest the equity in the home. There's always ways. Talk to a mortgage guy and, maybe we can figure that out. But get those arrears paid. The bank prefers you to do this voluntarily because it's faster, it avoids legal costs, and it reduces their risk. As I said, they're not in the process. After 35 days, if you do nothing, especially you don't call them, what they will do is list your property. So now it's a bit of a process still, but that doesn't mean drag your feet. They have to have a agent come in and do a valuation on your house. This is going to take about a week. They're going to come in, they got to do a report, they have to send it to the bank. The bank goes back to them and says, okay, list it for your recommended price. We know that's market value. Now the realtor has to list, do photos, do this, that. you need to cooperate. If you don't cooperate, the bank's not going to play nice. So the bank has to get or try to get fair market value in the current market. Doesn't matter what you paid 5, 3, 2 years ago. It's the current market value. Now, if the bank sells for more, you'll get the surplus after expenses. If they sell for less, folks, you could still be on the hook for thousands of dollars. Will banks issue a foreclosure? Not likely. That means they take title. They have to evict you from your home, which includes sheriffs, all kinds of fees for them, and they likely will not do that. They prefer power of sale. Now, the important reality here, the bank does not want your home, folks. They want the money. That's all they want. So if you communicate early, show intent, have a plan, list the property yourself, you usually have more flexibility than you think. Like I said, the bank does not want to be in the business of selling homes. A little bit of advice: if you're only 1 or 2 payments behind, maybe call the bank, ask for a deferral, capitalizing arrears, short-term payment plan, ask them anything. If there's all kinds of equity left in your house, consider a refinance, get a HELOC, private bridge loan, something that is going to help you. Now, HELOCs, bridge loans, they're going to cost you money. Refinancing, structuring your mortgage is probably the better option. So remember, your timeline summary. Day 1, your missed payment. After 15 days, a notice of sale is eligible. You've got 35 days from that point to redeem. After the redemption period, the lender can list the property. Okay, folks, most distress situations can be handled if controlled early. So remember, call your bank, call your mortgage agent, let them know what's going on. There's going to be a lot of calls to the banks. They understand. If there's anything I can do to help, more information, talk about a mortgage plan, give me a call. 519-377-2147. Folks, the days are going to get a lot brighter. They really will. Have an awesome day.